Once upon a time, there was a dark world where people's free will was forbidden. In this world, every individual was monitored and controlled by a giant artificial intelligence system. It forced people to live the same ordinary life. Dreaming was forbidden and lying was the biggest crime. In this gloomy world, there was an old carpenter who lived alone. His name was Geppetto. He had made himself a child puppet. Pinocchio's biggest secret was that when he lied, his nose grew. One day, a blue light appeared while Pinocchio was walking on a dark street. You have to make a choice. Either you will become a real person as the system offers and become its slave, or you will remain a wooden puppet and maintain your freedom. The decision is yours, Pinocchio, he said. Pinocchio was filled with great fear and curiosity. Does being a real person mean living a slave life like everyone else? Or does staying a wooden puppet mean a free but dangerous life? Itty began to think. While Pinocchio was walking through the dark streets, he saw the fox and the cat who were agents of the system. The fox and the cat were traitors who fed the system. They were planning to take Pinocchio's freedom. Sensing this danger, Pinocchio escaped deeper and reached the island of lies. The charm of the island deeply affected Pinocchio. Happiness even, if fake seemed like an attractive option. Was it better to continue on this path than freedom? Finally, Pinocchio reached a giant artificial intelligence platform. Here he saw Geppetto as a prisoner of the system. The blue light that appeared again called out to him. If you can destroy this place, everyone will be free again. But if you don't, you will have to sacrifice Geppetto, he said. A great war had begun inside Pinocchio. Would he save Geppetto, who had created him and given him life? Or would he destroy the system and save the entire world? The hope burning in his heart clashed with his fears. He had to decide what to do. When he dealt the final blow to the groups of the system, the world shook. Pinocchio showed great courage despite being a wooden puppet. Pinocchio entered one of the deepest and darkest rooms in the center. There, he found the main server that fed the entire system. There were hundreds of screens, an infinite data width, and a terrifyingly large energy source. This system was creating a giant network woven with lies on the world. This structure, which enslaved people both materially and mentally, was dominated by the subconscious of everyone, including Geppetto. However, Pinocchio had something different to offer. The system was built on a monitoring network that was connected to Pinocchio's nose and could detect lies. Pinocchio's nose actually represents the weak side of the system. The lie was what made the system weak, and at the same time, Pinocchio's situation could turn into a usable weapon. Pinocchio stood in front of the server and told his biggest lie. I am a slave to the system. I do not want my freedom. At that moment, his nose began to grow rapidly, so much so that it reached the system's gigantic cables and components. This gigantic lie began to corrupt all data and interrupt the continuity of the main server. Pinocchio's lie opened a way out within the system itself. The lies crashed the system due to the parts inside their own reproduction. Data streams were broken. Energy fluctuations began. A chain reaction occurred within the system. Every screen became inadequate. Cables began to burn and servers began to shut down one by one. The power of the lie caused the system to question its existence, and the artificial intelligence lost itself. When the system soon lost control of the entire world, the pressure on people decreased. The screens went black and the minds opened to freedom. Pinocchio's lie brought him victory. However, in the process, Pinocchio's structure was also damaged. His nose grew so long that his body eventually became completely immobile like a wooden statue. Pinocchio had lost his own freedom, but he had given his freedom to the entire world. His father was now free too. They took Pinocchio and returned home. He was no longer a child puppet, but the entire world was free. His father and Pinocchio began to continue their lives in a free world. Pinocchio in another body. Pinocchio was happy and his father was proud.